with Prudence and Elizabeth of the Center for Reproductive Rights and, of course, FIDA, respectively. And just before we went on break, Elizabeth, we were speaking about the leakages in our society that perhaps cause us to have this trifecta problem of teen pregnancies, HIV, gender-based violence. And you were telling us, what these leakages are and how we can deal with them. And perhaps if dealing with one helps deal with the other two.
Okay, thank you. To pick up from where we left from, I'd say if we address GBV fairly and squarely, then we will have a safer society. Girls will be protected. If we also remove the issue of stigmatization around HIV, we will have a safer society. Hence, what these three things do, they impede development, they impede education, they impede economic well-being. So there is need to fairly and squarely address these issues so that then we can have a progressive society, and that's the reason why we are calling and doing a lot of sensitization around the 16 days of activism. Yes.
I love the work that's being done by the way. Thank you, ladies, but Ntambia that at the end.
One thing that I've always wanted to know is the quick responses, especially when a case happens, Prudence. Probably, I grew up in Kawangware, and most of my friends who are ladies would only talk about what happened to them when they are grown. Right. How can we make sure that there's no stigma around reporting cases, and of course just making sure that we immediately address such issues, because sometimes it takes long and most of the victims feel like hata nikisema sahi it's going to be sorted out in like 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Brian, that goes back to social awareness and creating awareness and education around gender-based violence, its manifestations, and what forms of support victims can access. We do have the call number 1195, where victims can call and report incidences of gender-based violence, and they can be redirected to where they can seek psychosocial support, medical support, as well as legal support. But I do believe awareness and education around gender-based violence is going to really address the issue of stigma and, create safe spaces for women and girls and other victims of gender-based violence within our communities. Yes.
1195, yes?
Yes, 1195.
As we wrap up, is there a call to action you have for us? That we can do as in whatever capacity, whether you are, actively working against gender-based violence, if you're, in FIDA or the Center for Reproductive Rights, or you're just a civilian with a good heart trying to, move things along. Or perhaps you're also a survivor of gender-based violence, or you've seen it, as many of us have. Absolutely.
So seek support, talk about gender-based violence. And one of the things that I would really encourage, civil society as well as the government is to begin to implement or institutionalize comprehensive sex education, as well as implement Article 26.4 of the Constitution, because this will lead to enhanced quality of life for women and girls and break the cycle of poverty in our country.
Right. Anything to add, Elizabeth?
Okay, my call to action is especially around these 16 days of activism. The theme is Unite. Let's prevent gender-based violence for women and girls. The key word there is prevent and then eliminate. So we need to have in place always prevention measures, and that's why organizations like FIDA exist. FIDA also has a toll-free number. Feel free to utilize that toll-free number. It is 0800 720 501.
0800
720 501.
Yes. Thank you so much, ladies, for the amazing work that you are doing. It does not go unnoticed. Let me give you something we call here Makofi Kaolomi Day. And thank you for spending the morning with us, Prudence. Thank you for spending the morning with us, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
All the best. We have